Hello and welcome back to Josh Does Math. In this video we're going to be doing a simple limit that you would find in a Calculus 1 course. So we're looking at the limit as x goes to -3 on 4x over x plus 3 plus 12 over x plus 3. So we're looking for what value this function approaches as x approaches -3. So the first step you usually take when you're solving limits is trying direct substitution. So I'm just going to put in -3 for every x and see what I get. So I get two things that are divided by 0, and usually you can't do division by 0, but inside of a limit it's a little different because we're not exactly dividing by 0, we're dividing by something approaching 0. So it's not 0, it's something approaching 0, but it's still very, 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 very small. When you're dividing by something so small as it's approaching 0, anything divided by that is going to give you infinity, right? No matter what constant you have on the top, if you're divided by something that's approaching a super duper small amount, approaching 0, you're going to get infinity. However, there's a negative sign on here, so we get negative infinity. And for the second term here, the same reasoning means that we're getting infinity. So you might be tempted to just say, oh, infinity minus infinity is 0. But you can't do that. Infinity isn't just some variable or some number. It's a concept, so you can't say that one infinity is the same size as another infinity, as strange as that sounds. So this is not the answer. And this right here is an indeterminate form. So this is also not the answer because it doesn't tell us anything about what this limit actually is. So that means there's still some work to be done on our part. We need to simplify this limit somehow so that we avoid getting this. We want to get some answer, not infinity minus infinity, because that tells us nothing. So I'm going to write the limit again, but this time I'm going to manipulate it in the hopes that we get a different answer. I just combined the two terms here because they have a common denominator. So let's see if that was enough work. I get -12 plus 12 over -3 plus 3, which is 0 over 0. Well, that's not negative infinity plus infinity. Maybe that's the right answer. No, that's still wrong because that's an indeterminate form. Another indeterminate form. It doesn't tell us anything about what this limit is actually equal to. So I didn't do enough work. Okay, well, I'll write it one more time and see if we can get it this time. This time I'm going to factor a 4 out of the numerator. Well, we can cancel these two, this term on the top, this factor on the top, and we can cancel it with this factor on the bottom. So we're left with the limit as x goes to -5 of 4. So go ahead and now try direct substitution. Plug in a -5 for every x, except there are no x's, so you just get 4. So that's your final answer. 4 is not indeterminate. That's a number that's telling us what this limit is approaching. It's approaching the value 4 as x approaches -3. So that's how you do a simple limit like this that you'd find in Calculus 1. Thanks for watching.